And away we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's time for track feedback on Wednesday, January 12th. So I'm kicking it off right here with a little Mindbender mix. And if you are new to the track feedback situation, what it's all about is we're playing tracks from Discord, where we have our track feedback crew. That's our Ableton producer community. People are sharing tracks, posting mixes, trading comments, and then in the live streams, I play through them and to talk about three things. The things you want to be able to do are have great sound design, meaning original sounds that sound like the sounds are moving around and doing something cool. Number two, we need to have a climax in the middle somewhere. So your song structure has to build up to a peak, take people on a journey that makes it fun for them to play the track again and again. Like a roller coaster. You go up, you get the drop, you get the adrenaline rush, track feels good. Even if it's chill out or ambient, you can still have a song structure that leads you through developments, intro, build up, climax, resolution, ending, whatever. The song structure matters. And then, of course, number three is the mix. You got to drop some bass. We're also looking for stereo width, clarity on top and high frequencies, nice full mid-range, but primarily a heavy, deep, focused low end, which our friend Mindbender is super good at doing. So we're starting off with his track. Let me just close that window right here and get over to our browser. And by the way, I'm running a little special on the track feedback crew. Normally it's $25 a month, but right now in January, you can join for only $15 to become part of our crew and post your tracks and get feedback from other people who know what they're doing and get into the live streams and stay motivated so you get your tracks finished and you can actually release them this year in a couple months. It can really happen. So sign up and join us. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And I know I talked over your intro, Martin. I'm sorry. Let's focus on the music right now. Got the Spectrum. Okay. Bring up the level a little bit. Hey, Ben, what's up? That's me turning up the broadcast level here. Mindbender took it up to 134 BPM, a little faster this time. I'm just digging this track. I'm nice in the flow. Get our timer there, 2:30. And I think this is a rough draft. So usually what we hear is like a long acid lines with filters moving and sweeping, and then the beats layering up underneath. Mr. Melvis. You didn't have any updates today, right? Is that right? So Mindbender, that was a cool break right here. Everything calms down, we get a little vocal, and then it comes back in, starts layering up again. It has a good feel for this tempo. It still feels organic and natural and smooth, but like up, you know? This is cool. I know I'm checking my other monitor and everything. It's really easy to listen to. The low end is nice and focused. We can see that bass line is happening here. The kick drum is nice in below it in its own space. You're always pretty good with the low end, so we don't even really worry about that. Sheppers! All right, cool. Now we're at like the climax moment, or like the build up before the climax. One more time. How'd we get there? A little bit of a burnt high frequency synth happening. Cut a drum layer, break it down. That lead is cool. It has a nice stereo action. Maybe you could put a delay on that lead, like when it, like here. Dee 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 dee. There might be a little delay on that, but that could be cool with a little more delay happening. Yeah, this is a cool track. Let me skip forward a little bit. Oh, wait. I hear a vocal sample in there. I'm not quite sure what it's doing. Maybe that could be a little louder, possibly. Sheppers, I think I got the track you just posted, yeah. This part is cool. It kind of opened up. That rhythm's cool. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That sound is good too. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, good flow. And that crunchy clap snare. Okay, synth fades down. Is this just mix out now? Oh, cool. Let me read this tip. So you took the, talking about the lead for the track, panned the high end on the lead and left the rest in the center, split the lead in 2 bands, and then a bit of random pan on everything over 1500 hertz. Oh, that's cool. So you take the instrument, put it into 2 frequency ranges, and pan one of them to the side and have the other one in the center. So you get some stereo space, and then, yeah, you know, a little delay where you're time syncing the milliseconds. I was playing with your delay idea on my track for today. I was like, maybe I'm going to unquantize my delay time, go into the world of milliseconds and have them just kind of drift. It's cool. So, okay, mix out is cool. This is nice, gritty, glitchy beats. Oh, and by the way, everybody, Mindbender just put up a pack of stems for a house beat. If you want to drop the link into the YouTube chat, could you do that? It's a pack of sounds that people can download and play with to have a house beat chopped up in layers. I haven't actually played with it yet myself, but I think it was pretty cool. And he ran it through some analog gear and made the sounds all fat and nice. So that's kind of cool. Ah, DJ Waters, look who came to class today. Morton, I'm sorry, I don't have any real feedback on your track today except for that idea about the delay and the sound design because it's starting out coming in pretty solid and good. And one thing that I really like is that compared to your usual tracks, this one has a few more gaps and breaks where the kick drum drops down and we get a moment, you know, like right here. I think that helps a lot to give us, so it still feels continuous, but there are kind of like little sections where it feels like there's a bit of a rest or a change, like right here. And that's really good. So you get kind of more of a climax and peak. You know what? Right here. Okay, what if we cut out the kick drum for like, let's count it. So don't have the kick drum right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe at 5:10, if you cut out 8 bars of the kick drum, that empty space would be more of a buildup. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's a sound that's going up in frequency. It's like a slow sweep, right? It starts and as long as that sound is still climbing, people can still feel like they're in the build. So right here, that kick drum comes in a little early. It's not wrong, but you're kind of wasting the build if you have the kick drum right there because that's still going like, there's still a sound rising up. And then right here, boom. Like possibly do a little snare drum tap thing, come in at 510 with a crash. If you want to get into details of climax and stuff. Shepherds, good question. How long did you work on this track? Morton, probably like one night, right? So, as usual, if I don't hear any really serious problems with the track, I add creative suggestions, like maybe you could cut out a little bit in this one section to make it have more of an impact. So I think that might help if you want to, but stylistically, if you know that your kick drum is perfect the way it is right there, it's not wrong. It would just be kind of, cut out those 8 bars, let people ride that build up a little bit higher and see how that flows. Up next, Sounds of the Jungle, DJ Waters, 227. We're going to go through, we have about 8 tracks today, so let's do some hard stuff. And then we got Donats, we got a couple Ben Hunt tracks, another remix, and Sesk. So it might be a little shorter program today. Oh my God, 4 hours. Like a live modular jam. Okay, I did a beat to it. The patching took a bit longer. Hey man, can you take a photo of your patching? And I don't know, I'm always thinking in the terms of tutorials. So I'm like, oh, how did he patch it? What's this doing? What are the modulators? How is he doing it? So I'm sure that'd be cool. But hey, that's a great track for 4 hours. Now, DJ Waters has been doing some Grateful Dead covers with a folk acoustic guitar sing-along. No, I'm kidding. Let's see what we got. Rumble. Oof, that's low. All right, so just getting the sounds in place, putting together the ideas. Oh, Shepherds, I did not get your Dropbox link. How do I get that right now? All right, we got the sounds, we got the story, we got the vibe. That opening kick drum has a nice texture. Then right here. Now the mid-range got a lot louder, so I know you're going to adjust this, but just my first impression. Yes. I feel all that thick mid-range grinding energy like your other tracks, which is good. That's cool. Pulling the voices up underneath, getting them here. And done. Okay, cool. Let's go from the beginning again. The opening kick drum was really cool. It had a nice texture to it. This kick drum is super cool. I'm gonna turn up the bass a little bit. Is that the same kick that you used later with more distortion and processing on the layers? Because that's like nice and heavy. That right there, just technically, that one hawk. Perfect example of where you can EQ a little bit down, 2.3K, make it a little... Hey, shut up! Shut up! Got the sense of humor in there. and then crushing it. Cool. Yeah, the offbeat claps, the style, the grind. And that riser thing. Okay, hold on. Let me reorganize my brain so I can read again. So that is a series of subs to make a buffalo style sound at the beginning and then the same kick throughout. Yeah, cool. Watch out, there is that one super low, that rumble is going to be a problem for somebody. So take care of that a little bit later. And then this part with the vocals. Nice layering. I can feel the voices. They sound like comfortable compared to whatever else was going on. And that's cool. It's a high voice. You know, it's funny how many themes connect across genres. Even though genres can be totally different, you hear me say a lot, like at the end of a breakdown when you're coming back into the drop, one of the things that puts the energy like over the top into the drop is a high frequency sound, which could be classically, it's like the reverse crash, the crash cymbal, the white noise riser, all that kind of stuff. But any high frequency sound takes the emotional energy up. And this time, I think it kind of happened intuitively, but there's this crazy voice going, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, shut up. That crazy laugh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that's really cool. That totally takes us right back into the beat with that like psycho laugh energy. So good one, DJ Waters. You're in the right shape for that. So let's get another mix out to 5. I don't know, what do you do? 5 minutes or 4 minutes or something, and bestow it upon the populace. Not unlike our friend Sheppers. Whoa. What? Link. Give to Steve. Now you can watch me click SoundCloud. There we go. And while we're at it, on the hardstyle sound. Ian, it doesn't need loads of EQ work. There's a few sounds that need to get a couple of notches cut out. But in general, I mean, the voices, the storytelling elements of characters and sounds and animals and things, they all came through pretty much in the right range. So I could hear each one. I could hear how they fit together. It's not bad. That was actually pretty decent. So how do I do this? I'm going to do it. I want to see the timer and the spectrum. All right, Shepherd is coming through, double the dose. What do we got? Wait, EQ flat. Okay. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I can't type comments while it's playing. I'm gonna bring up my broadcast level a little bit on this. All right. Is that hi-hat moving? They are. Those hi-hats just separated. Ah. I'm gonna bring up the high frequencies a little bit. Just a little bit of that shh, I think helps on the high end. Because the mids are very full and the high end can be kind of ticky. You know? Okay, Ian is looking for a little adjustment on the low end. Yeah, I mean, the bottom is big, but there could be something in between like 250 to 400 hertz that maybe you could take down a little bit so the low end is really clear and the rumble isn't. It's always your balance of that rumble power versus just the pure kick power. Wait, what just happened here? Was there some distortion on that voice? That sounded good. I like that. I'm gonna EQ some mid-range. Okay, now I'm gonna do a flat EQ and cut. Here's flat. There's cut, around 500. Back to flat. And cut a little bit. So what we got right now is I put the low end up a little bit, I cut down a little bit of 500, and we have the high shelf EQ up a little bit. And overall the track is coming at you a little bit more, which is kind of like cheap mastering. Oh, this is good, a new lead sound. About Ian, about the 2.5K, I'm not sure. You want some more up there? Or are you saying you want less of 2.5? Cool. I like the pitching, the ride, changing pitch. That's cool. Good sound design. All right, 4 minutes. I'm still totally in the groove. That's a cool sound. Okay, let me move my EQ up to 2.5K and see how that sounds. You could hear it got a little bit scratchy when I boosted up, like this. There's back to flat. And that's cutting out a bunch of 2.5K. So possibly that 2.5K is in the middle of the mid-range, or I guess maybe the top end of the mid-range, and it has that scratchy kind of scraping feel, which I think really works on your style. So I wasn't bothered by the mid-range. Like when I have a problem, it's when there's a sound that feels like a car alarm going off. It's like beep, 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 beep. Like at 3,000 or 4,000, it actually makes your eyes go like, ugh. Like that's when I have a high mid-range problem. But 2.5K is not, in this case, it's not a problem. It's like something that you could just adjust relative to the rest of the mix. But really about from, I'd say like from 400 to 600 in that area, the rumble kind of zone was a little bit like, so you could take that down a little bit, either with reducing the volume on that layer or actually EQing that one layer compared to the kick drum. Mindbender, yeah, kind of flat over 1K, so some cutting at certain frequencies to get the end result of opening up the sound and making it feel more open, like there's space for all the sounds to come through. And what I really liked were these subtle little travelers. Okay. I noticed it right around 1K. Like that one. That one. I don't know what it was. It almost sounds like one of those bird sounds of like, but it's cool that it comes. I call them travelers. They're like little sounds that kind of come in. You sort of become aware of it, and then it disappears, and it just adds to the like I don't know the journey of the music or something. So Shepherds, what is this version 1.1? So there's this was just an update from a new track from just this week or something like that, right? So yeah, bring back another version on Saturday, and let's see what happens with it. Double the dose V1. Hour ago, so we'll skip that. Danats, what now? Usually he misses our streams because he's down on 12 hours off. So Danats at 25 minutes in. Yep, Shepherds, good job. Keep it coming. And here we go, Danats. Oop, EQ reset. You know what I gotta do is move this camera so when I'm on the board you can see me. Instant Danats signature chopped up vibe. Kick drum came in kind of light. I can see there's a lot of sub down there below even 40, but it feels like boop, 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 and not like poof. Let's see what happens. Maybe we get another layer. I'm going to give it a little more level on the broadcast. Send. I like that sample in the mids, though. Oh, awesome. That hi-hat coming in takes it up for sure. Yeah, it is a nice groove. It has that back and forth kind of bounce. All right, I'm feeling like I'm ready for a change to come pretty soon. I can see there's something happening. This section. Okay, cool. Sample coming in there. Good use of delay getting into the breakdown. Those hi-hats are always really kind of grouped, right? A kind of stop and start ticky thing. It's almost like a breakbeat hi-hat pattern, but not exactly. That's a good stylistic thing to go up with the chopped up with baseline feel. There's the cymbals, the build. That cymbal sound could use a little more high frequency push. It's kind of a dark cymbal, but it could be like brighter as it gets towards the drop. Claps sound good. Nice delay happening right there. A lot of little vocals popping in. Okay. Okay, so in general, as I'm skipping through it, I'm getting the feeling like the groove is really solid and we get into the track and there's lots of little bubbly things coming up and happening, but it's missing like a top line melody or something above that to take the whole groove section and bring it somewhere. If we go through, let's go through minute by minute, like when the first beat comes in. You know, the whole chopped up energy is like, so that's going on there. Percussion's layering up, so that's good. Adding the hi-hats and stuff is good to build energy. That was a good build coming into 2 minutes. And right here, like we're still in that same kind of groove. You could almost have like, I don't know, like a saxophone solo or some like clearly lead instrument coming in on top. So you're doing a good job with changing the actual like sounds that are making up the groove. So new sounds come in and out. But really, because it's so chopped up and kind of bubbly the whole time, doop 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 doop, there's a lot of space in the upper mids for a long continuous lead, like any kind of synth you could play with it and make it sound cool. And then figure out a note pattern that's playing a melody and doing a cycle that's like, I don't know, like an 8-bar loop of melody. And if you just brought that in for 16 bars, have the melody play, filter it and tweak the sound a little bit, I think that would take the track to another place. It would have like more of a story, because this track feels like it comes in, it starts, the groove is like a really long block, and then the song comes to an end. And it doesn't have like a melodic shape or something to like really like get into when the groove is happening. So let me know in the chat if anybody has a feeling on that, because that's a cool, like I'm just kind of imagining what I would do on the track, you know? Let's see how we get to the ending. And then technically the kick drum needs to be a little louder, and that's the cymbal that could be a little brighter. Let's check out our bass line. That hump at that bass line, I would high pass filter it up to 75 hertz, because there's a bunch of low frequency stuff just in the bass line sample. And then when your kick comes in, it's crowded with the bass line. So get all those little sub bass pulses that are happening underneath 75 hertz, high pass filter all those out of there, so your kick drum could be down at 65, just big and crisp. And the low end will flow better. So 3 tips for Donats. Number 1, kick drum on the low end. Number 2, make the cymbal a little brighter, a little more high frequency on that ending cymbal. That one is a little kind of dull. It has like meat to it, but it's a little dull. And mainly see about adding a top line melody. And this is kind of a theme for a lot of your music, has this feel of like bouncy groove, super cool groove with a lot of samples coming in. So it doesn't get boring because the samples are changing and it doesn't sound like a loop of like just a repetitive loop. But even as you're going through the sections where the samples are changing, there's space for one of those strings leads, like a long drone that just hangs on the top and plays the same note, like droning. You know, it doesn't have to be like a virtuoso melody from Mozart or something, but just a high frequency sound that goes as a continuous thing, or possibly an atmospheric pad to come in, fill the space, hold a note, you know, like just kind of in the upper mid-range frequencies to balance out all the choppy fast stuff on the bottom. Something long and smooth and continuous that kind of holds attention on the mids. DJ Waters, I know what I would do with most tracks, but it isn't what you would want in them. Very true. All right, so Ben Hunt, we got one of these is an update. One of them was a new jam, right? So let's check the update. And I think you said this is almost done. Is that right? EQ flat. Here we go. Proper low end. Oh. Is this, we were talking about too much reverb on the clap? I just looked at the notes and saw you said you took it down. I didn't even notice it now, so that's a good repair. The synth could be louder. Yeah, that high frequency synth could be up a little bit louder in the kind of melody range. Oh, is this the wrong link we're playing right now? Version 3. Pause. Let's go on to the next one. Amber, I'll start this track and then... Oh, okay, Amber. So now I'm playing Amber. I know we got a little like minute lag. Let me know if Amber is the right one or if what's what. So is this the same exact file? Yeah, you might have got the links mixed up. That's all right, it happens. Okay, let's keep going with this one. That's cool, the cymbals coming in. I think the bass line has a little loud. There's one resonant one. That note, the A at 110. But I like that I can clearly see those bassline notes and pick them out compared to the kick drum, so that's good. That was a good gap. This synth. It's kind of like high notes blinking. Definitely bring that up louder. That's a cool sound. All that good high frequency stuff. Oh wow, that vocal thing, was that in there before? I like that vocal piece. Did we hear that before? Hey, this is cool. So this is a good example of like where I would say the instrument group is what we're hearing right now. That one fast synth, these plucks, and the vocal thing. If those are in a stereo group, that you could take that whole group up louder on top of this. Because the kick drum and the bass line are cool, but there's like a bunch of like mid-rangey kind of heavy pressure where we're not hearing the brightness of the instrument group, which I would like to have up louder and more like coming at you. Let me try That's kind of an exaggeration where I cut the lows and turned up the volume. Mainly, that's the voice right there, right? Yeah. So mainly what I think you should do is mix your instrument layers as an isolated stereo group with the beats and the kick drum and the bass line gone. So mute the kick, mute the bass line, mute the beats, take all the other instruments into a stereo group and just play through the whole track. Make sure you hear all the parts where all the layers are in, and make sure that you can hear each one of those layers independently, especially that ghost voice thing that goes, ooh. That should be really bright and on top, and then mix the other layers around it. And then you'll have the whole group on one channel. So when you put the beat and the bass back in, you'll be able to take the whole stereo group of instruments up and down to get it to sit right in the mix where all the layers are interacting properly. I think that's how I'd approach that, because there are such cool instruments in here. The sound design is good, but it's not coming through to really let us feel all that stuff. Instead, we have this like kind of low mid pulse. And that's good. You got to have the pulse, but let's get the synths kind of with the brightness out front. Need the brightness. So I'm watching Discord. Let's see if we get an update from over there. Amber. And cool vibe on that track. Now we got Mindbender. This is Caesar remixing your track. Is that right? Or is that? Not, let's listen. EQ flat. Okay. So this is Morton remixing one of Caesar's tracks, I think. Let's put up the broadcast level. It's nice and buzzy. So feel it. Oh, that's cool. Great illustration where the synth layers and vocal layers really come out on top of the beat. Like, wow, they wash over you. I guess that's really the definition of having space in the mix. When you can take one of the sounds you like and turn it up louder, and there's space for it to sound excellent without taking away from other things. That's how you know you have space. Wow, this is cool. Yeah, Shepherd is good low end. I like that top synth that's on top, the arpeggiator. Beat is solid. Yeah, the beat is super clear. Clap. Vocals sound great. That's a spacey vibe, man. too sharp. There are some little spikes coming up. .723 hertz. 856. Those sounds that feel like that frequency mod buzz are a little bright. I mean, they're okay, but it's also constant and kind of repetitive, so maybe you could kind of like bring that down sometimes. That thing. Maybe that doesn't have to be in all the time, but it's not too bright. Yeah, those buzzy spikes are a little bit noticeable. That synth is cool. It has like a brassy kind of 80s Casio feel. Yeah, volume automation, yeah. So it's just not playing the whole time through. Still in the flow, 5.5 minutes, like cruising right along. I especially like those voices on top. The bell sound, Shepherds, yeah. There we go. This is a good place to highlight that buzzy sound by itself. It sounds really cool right here. Kind of random. And the mix out, new drums. And of course, for a cliche, you could take that buzzy sound, put it into a delay, and then mute the dry signal and play with the echoes. If you... Yeah. Ooh, that's a nice sweep. Nice effects. That sounds really good. Let's just compare what happened at the beginning. Okay. Right. It starts off real heavy right here with the beat and that buzzy random thing. And that's great. It introduces the track, puts it in its own sonic world, and it's definitely like, you're going to notice this track coming into the mix when you mix it after something else. But after like a minute, right here, that arpeggiator that's creeping in, right here, maybe fade the buzz out and let the other synth be on top so that buzz is just kind of gone, because all these other synths are doing really cool stuff. And maybe bring it back in the middle of the track as like a visitor. Like we heard it at the beginning, now it's back in the middle, then have it drop out again. Those sounds are cool. Yeah. So in general, there's a lot of really cool layers, and they don't have to all play at the same time. You could pick like the voice in one synth and have that be one section, have the beat and the buzzy thing at the beginning and the ending, and just kind of like spread out the sound so each one is like showcased at a part of the song. That voice is so cool. Then they won't be overlapping quite so much. Ben Hunt, did you update the actual SoundCloud file, or is there a new link? I didn't see a new link. Let's see, is this? Okay, totally different track. I got it. That's the clap, but that had too much reverb. That sounds great. Yeah, I was a little confused there for a minute. That sounds great. It's big, but then the reverb fades. Cool, man. This is sounding good. That beat is smacking. You like to ramp in those kick drums, don't you? To kind of come in underneath. All right, here it comes. Everybody goes like this. Nice drum fill. Nice, nice, nice. One more time. Kind of sounded like a steel drum or something, like a bright metallic. That clap is making me happy now. Dude, this mix is sounding really good. Low end is cool, mid range is crisp, high end is clear. Everything is like fitting together. Sounded good. I would like to hear you put this into full length analog stems and have Mindbender do the analog treatment on it with that low end. Well, I'm gonna give it a little more low end just for fun. And the nice thing about a good mix is if you want to just boost up the lows, it's gonna sound better. Shepard, as you hear in a formant filter. Nice vocal treatment. Delay on there. The Mindbender treatment. This is great. The bass line is kind of disappearing a little bit as we lead toward the build-up. Going up. Yeah, very nice. I think I hear a little piece of the voice echoing right there. That was totally smooth. That was great. I think we were talking about what you could do with the vocal after this drop, right? Yeah, the mids are nice and full. Yes, that's exactly right. That comes in right there. This is sounding done, I think. this part. Hey, Caesar, right on time. We just played the Mindbender remix to your track, but we got your other track coming up. Yeah, Ben, this ending is awesome. Nice and deep bass and kick. Those drum fills are tight. This almost feels like Underworld, actually. Something about the synth. Yeah, man, nice job on the updates with this one, Ben. This is sounding done. Ready to go. And maybe if Mindbender could hook up like a treatment, what do we call this? Like treatment protocol, a treatment protocol for your tracks to just take stems, run them through the analog gear, make a stem mix, and have that as like a mix-a-texture service that you could hook up for people. That would be cool. I don't know how much studio time you have available for taking other people's gigs, but I'm sure we could promote that and a lot of people would be like, yeah, let's get the Mindbender treatment. So possibly another thing. Ben, claps. Very noticeable updates, super cool, totally nothing sticking out. I don't even have any tips. Anybody in the comments have any tips? Listen to how the sound decays after this enters the breakdown. That's almost 4 bars of time where the reverb and delay slows down as we're entering into the breakdown. That's great. I think transitions are best when they're nice and smooth and long and they lead you across. Cool, man. All right, we're not going to play it all the way through again, but I want to hear the drop. And it kicks back in. Cool. See, that's what a feel-good track is all about. You just want to hear the drop. Okay, Sesk, this feeling. And now we've been having a thread in the mastering chain. What am I saying? A bunch of comments in the mastering channel about doing it yourself, plugins, LUFS levels, and this is something that Caesar put together. So let's check out levels, and I'll just normalize my EQ and see what we got. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Always nice to see you all. So far, so good. It's got that dusty groove kind of vibe. I want to see a picture of a cat and some houseplants on the album cover. Like a piano with a cat and a houseplant, like the sun coming in. That sax is fantastic on there. That's that string sound. Adam Danatz. That kind of just like a long sweeping string that comes into like thread through the top end. That can really like pull together a bouncy, choppy track. In the box master. So far, so good, man. The low end feels like a good, deep groove. I would love to feel this in a big room. Really smooth vibes. This sounds like a Mark Troy kind of track too, right? Like piano, sax, house. totally good. Totally in the vibe. Somebody better tell Bob Sinclair to watch out. Hey, Oliver's here. I didn't see any updates from you. Is that right? You didn't have anything for today? Violin drenched in reverb and then resampled to control the tails, used as a transition. That's cool. That violin tail, that's cool. I like what's happening here. I can feel it changing. I like that hi-hat coming in there. What is that voice saying? And there we come back in. Cool. That break was a little bit long, but not too long. Yeah, nice layering. The bass line and kick drum are really nicely done. Feeling that low end. Ah, perfect. Now we return to the main theme. Yeah, some of these songs, you just got to get them out, get them done. This would be like a great house party track. You can see people just like in the kitchen drinking wine. Hawaii 5-0 chops, yeah. Shepherds. And bringing it back down for the ending. Really nice job, man. Everything good. I want to go back to this break, just count it out, but let's feel how the flow goes to the ending. All right, perfect. Cut the bass, cut the kick. Feels like a live drummer, like a disco, like on that hi-hat. No, that's not a master. if you're making a master, let the ending go 10 seconds after the last sound and really just trail off into the ending. Good self-discipline, and you never know when the version you export could be the one that's good enough to release. And you don't want to have that tail cut off, because then basically what you have to do is go back earlier, fade it down sooner, and you lose the mix out section. So even if you only think you're making a test mix, put in that extra, drag the loop brace, that extra chunk, like 2 visual bars longer or whatever. And don't cut off the tails. That's generally just a good habit. So utility with volume automation for the evolving pluck. The evolving pluck. I'm not sure what was the evolving pluck. Was that the when I said return to theme? This one? Do, do, da, 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 da. Not quite sure what you mean for which evolving pluck is, but yeah, the lo-fi feel, that dusty, dirty groove thing, very organic and natural and like earthy sound. Let's just go back to this main gap. It's not that it was too long, it's like there was a while when it was too, oh, hold on, okay, 1, 2, 8. There's 8 right there. 9. Maybe that arpeggiated synth, you could like tweak it with a low pass filter and then open the filter back up or something. Because those first 8 bars, it feels like the layers are there and they're cool, but they're not really changing a lot. They're just kind of staying steady. Now it feels like a buildup is happening, getting faster and faster. And the snare. And the drop comes back in. So I don't know how much more you're going to put into this track, but in this section right here, okay, so when it enters the breakdown, it's a clean break. Remember on the track before, I was commenting that the wash of sound took like 4 bars to extend over the breakdown. Let's just check that again, what Ben was doing. Was that? Okay, listen to how I'm not sure, Caesar, if you were here. Listen to how the wash continues into the breakdown. 1, 2. There's like a wispy tail that extends a long time coming into this breakdown. And in your track, we go from the beat. And then right away, the beat drops out and we're in the transition section. We're in the breakdown section. But if you could maybe add some kind of a washy reverb or a delay of one sound or something to take the part that was happening before and just like smear it across the transition so we don't just go directly into an empty part, I think that would help. And then it would take us to the middle of this and then we start doing the build up back again. That's kind of a detail. There isn't really anything like wrong again with your track. But I'm trying to think of stuff that might just smooth between the sections a little bit more to make it feel continuous. Okay, the one that enters in the break is what you call the pluck sound. So utility with volume automation. Yeah. That's cool. Great track, really good feel. I mean, it's a good combination of the piano, the sax, and then the blippy, buzzy synth thing. Hawaii 5-0 type show. Now, I did a little work on the track I've been doing, and I think it's almost done. This is a pre-master, which means the volume is down. What I want feedback on is I added a harmonic layer to fill in the mids because I felt like the bass and the click stuff was on the bottom, and there was this one little plinky melody, and there was some space in the middle. So I'm not going to play the whole track, but I'm going to bring it in before the melody thing enters, and let's just listen to those layers. I want to know if they sound okay. Up a little bit. Little tiny high-end boost. Okay, that's new. Yeah, Caesar, ear candy. That's exactly what it is. So that spacey melody, is that loud enough? That chord is new in this part. Sounds like Velcro a little bit. Okay, so now we're in just like emptiness. That one feels like it's loud enough. Maybe the first one should be a little louder. Also, I thought that breakdown was only, it could be like twice as long. That breakdown felt short to me after listening to you guys. Now that synth pad is coming back in, right? Kind of fill in like around like the back of the mids. There we go. So that's basically the part I wanted feedback on, is how those middle harmony layers and leads fill the mids and how do they vibe in the track. So I'm gonna let this sit overnight. Check it out, and then we go out to the ending. So let me know if you have any comments, and while we're listening to the end of this, let me just roll through a little bit more promo. Track Feedback Crew is open just for the month of January, where you can sign up and join us for only $15 a month, which is an incredible deal. If you look around for other Ableton producer communities, the ones that are running $20 a month, they don't even give you individual feedback like we do on Discord. This is a really special thing we have going on. Shepard's a bit brighter. Okay, thank you. I think I agree with you. So to be able to, this is, I know you guys watching right now, this is not for you, but for anybody watching the replay, being able to join an Ableton producer community and get specific, useful, practical feedback from people who actually give a shit about your music is really valuable. So being able to sign up for $15 a month is really fantastic. You get access to the private Discord channels for genre-specific tracks. They're organized by house, techno, hardcore, everything else. And you can get feedback from people who make the same kind of music you do and get your music reviewed on live video. And I just set this up so it automatically includes the Discord access. So when you join on Patreon, it'll bring you into Discord and set everything up. It's much smoother and much easier than what we were doing before. So that is available to everybody, and I'm going to promote it a little bit more because our crew is awesome, and I want everybody else to join us and get to be in the vibe. Shepard's found them about too dull. Okay, so the lead part, yeah, I was going for, I didn't want it to be too piercing because the bells are kind of sharp, and I wanted it to feel like the low end is tight and clicky, right? And then you've got this kind of spacey floating melody on top that's like Dream World, combination of like hard beats and dreamy synth things. So thanks for the feedback. TJ Waters, come on, man. Where's the mashup of Hawaii 5-0? I need that. All right, great progress this week. I'm so impressed with the quality of the music coming through and the attention that people are putting into details and updates and upgrades. It's awesome. It's exciting. So that's it for Wednesday. We didn't have a ton of tracks in today, but that's nice because an hour long is cool. And that's going to be it. You all know what to do. If you have any questions, you can always contact me, steve@mixitexture.com. I'll be in on Discord. And then what do we got coming up? On Friday, we're doing a production tips workshop. This is going to be fun. I'm going to show you the track that we were just listening to from me, what I do between mixing and before mastering. Because believe it or not, there are some things you have to actually kind of undo to get ready for mastering. For example, I've been exporting mixes with my own mastering chain to get them loud enough so we can compare the test mix and hear how it sounds relative to everything else. Well, when it's time for mastering, I'm going to undo my master channel. I'm going to check the phase, check the mono situation, check the frequency spectrum. There's a bunch of things you do to just make sure that you're not messing it up for your mastering engineer. You don't want to over compress your own beat. You don't want to over EQ it. You want to give the mastering person space to work with the track. So I'm going to talk about that process, show you some plugins, show you about exporting individual stems. This is something that people do a lot. And there are a couple tricks to do. It's not hard, but there are a few things you can do to make it much easier for the person who's receiving a pack of audio files so they can understand what tracks are they getting, where are the sounds, what are the effects, how to include a master stereo mix of your reference track just to make sure that when they go to put all the stems together, they actually get everything and it's in the right place and synchronized. Because believe it or not, sometimes people make mistakes, and it really helps to have a guide track to say, here's my vision, this is what I want it to sound like. You take these stems, make it sound like that, but better. La, 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 la. Anything else over there? Oh, any comments over here? Yeah, make that dreamy and more often. Don't forget to mention the free bottle of JD when you join too. No. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. I'll see you in Discord. See you on Friday for production tips, Saturday for track feedback again. All live streams start at noon, 12 o'clock Eastern time. You can always just start the YouTube player to watch the countdown to get synchronized. And we'll take it out with Ben Hunt. Coming through. There we go. Nice session today, everybody. Thanks a lot. See you next time.